Grandpa Greenwald, old man with a pan. Well, today we're gonna attempt to make some refried beans. I have some beans that I put in the pot this morning and earlier and did a, what do you call that? A quick soak. I did a quick soak in an hour, just boil them for 10 minutes or so, turn them off and let them sit here, actually for a couple hours and let them sit here. Then I just now got them started again. So they're real hot, because I know that because we had a little eruption on the stove when it was on this side. So we're gonna go ahead, there's nothing in here except the original water, and I did add another 8 ounces or so of water on top. So we're gonna try to keep the water to a minimum, and get these beans cooked and with a lot of flavor in them. So let's go ahead and dress up the beans now, and then we're gonna make some more spices for it. Okay, we're gonna make refried beans out of here, so we want this carrot to carry some oomph to it, if you know what I mean, a little oomph. I put Greek oregano, I'm sorry. I put 2 teaspoons of Greek oregano in, 1 teaspoon of chili powder. And I'm going by a recipe here, so I'm not just making this up. I have 3/4 of a teaspoon of paprika. Of course, when you cook beans, I always throw a couple of bay leaves. We'll have to fish those out later on. And the last dry ingredient, well, it's not the last dry ingredient, I have to go conjure up some salt over there, is ground cumin. I'm gonna put I just want to put a little bit more than, that was 3/4, but I don't want to put, all right, so we have some ground cumin in there. And one more thing, if I can dodge under this camera or walk past it, I'll cut that piece out. I'm just going to sprinkle a little salt down in there. A little bit for our beans. All right, that's enough of those type of things. Stir it around a little bit with those spices in there. Yummy, yummy, yummy. This is all we're gonna cook down in here, but all of this is gonna be dumped in the pot for flavoring. So I need this cutting board. I cut up, it was a half of a large onion. The recipe calls for 1 medium onion, 1 jalapeno, and 3 cloves of garlic. Actually, I might have 4 cloves of garlic there. So let's go ahead and get these. We're just gonna fry these down a little bit and add a little back fat to it also. We need to have the little back fat for our flavoring. Those of you that make beans routinely, this is a good way to start your beans is with some sautéed vegetables. This back fat came off of a ham. It's really fatty. So, and we want some of that. We want some of that goodness fried down with these veggies. And we don't have to go overboard with that. A lot of it's going to disappear in the pan itself, but if we need to, we'll strain some of it out. Okay. And just for grins, like I said, I'm gonna put a little bit of this ham piece. And I'll leave that bigger chunks so I can find it if I need to. So the seasoning we're going to use is already in the pot, except for the veggies that we're frying down here. We'll get those added in. We're going to get those. Boy, they're smelling good already. All right, let's see what we got here. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's about all I want in there. Oh, yeah. All right. Beans are going good. Just the last of the spices. Whoa, 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 what are you doing to me there? I'm having a hard time. I have to switch burners and get it back on this the right burner here. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that. Slide that baby right over here. A nice low heat. Now, that's what we have going. That's what we have going on. We're gonna put all of that goodness, yummy, 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 little chunks of ham and onions and garlic, and we're gonna put it all down in these beans. Sorry, my hands. All you can see is a pan up there now. Oh yeah. That is yummy, yummy, yummy. Looks yummy, 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 yummy. It can't be anything but yummy, yummy, yummy. It's down in the pot with all that spice. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some guajillo peppers. I broke these open and took the seeds out. I'm just gonna stick those two down in there too. We'll pick up some little flavor from that. Alrighty, yummy, yummy, yummy. We're gonna let these simmer. I'm gonna turn them down. I'm gonna turn them down and get them where they're just barely simmering, and I'll have to work with that a little bit. Alrighty, I think our beans are as done as they're gonna get. They've been sitting here simmering. Let me go ahead and turn the fire off. Whoa, they're looking really nice. I haven't tasted them for about an hour or so. So I'm going to assume that they're done enough for me. They were in pretty good shape last time. So I'm going to take a bowl of these out. We don't need to make them all into, actually I want a lot of that. I'll take some of that meat and the green chilies, or excuse me, the guajillo peppers that we put in there. Just some of the broth. All right. Take some of the broth out. And I don't know if we're going to use all of these, but that's okay. I'm going to mash them a little bit in the pan with the spoon. I don't have a potato masher. I'm going to mash them a little bit with the spoon. Bay leaf. Forgot we had 2 bay leaves in there. Okay, we'll mash them down a little bit. Look at that broth. Look at that broth. It's just wonderful looking broth. Okay. So we're gonna see what we can do with this. We don't want to mash them to death. We just That's probably pretty good, just like that. Oh yeah, I think that's pretty good. We're going right back with our Miami. And I'm going to dump some. Again, we're not going to use them all. We're just going to use part of them. Get that little bit right there. So we'll get this high. We're going to just stir these around a little bit. We're going to let them get started, and I'll jump back in here. You can see they're bubbling already. They're bubbling already there. Now you can make these. You can, I left some whole bean pieces in there and pieces of bean instead of totally chopping them. It's up to you how you like your beans. What are you going to use them for? Whether it's going to be a side on the plate, whether it's going to be on a tostado or an empanada or one of those things. And you can hear my skillet rattling back and forth. This is not the flattest skillet in the world, but it sure cooks good. All right. Now let's let those toast up a little bit. I haven't tasted them. I think I need to taste them. I needed to taste them before we started so I could see how they changed as they roasted in here. Those are real good. They got a great flavor. Feel just a little tang in the background. Not too salty, not overbearing. I'm going to take these out and get another batch going here. Refried beans. Golly. All right, let's make us a tostada. Refried beans, homemade. Let me check and see. I like to put a lot of beans on mine. It's kind of perfect. It's kind of a pasty and some whole beans down in there. Little cheese on the top. Okay. And we can bake these in there, but in the oven, but I don't know why. 40 seconds in the microwave does the trick on it. All right. I was told 40 seconds is perfect. And look at that 40 seconds. That cheese is just slightly melted there. I'm gonna put a little bit of sour cream on top. And a little cilantro. I'm hesitant on taking a bite because it's gonna burn me. It's gonna burn me. So, let's take a bite of this. It's delicious. Would I add anything to it? Probably. One little sprinkle of salt. All right, one more bite. I couldn't bite it off. Wow. All right, folks. Thanks for coming by. We'll make some good refried beans. Yummy, 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 get in my tummy.